New York has some of the best wrestling history, which they try to capitalize on. They really need to stop saying that they're back in New York for WrestleMania because they're in New Jersey.
It's so weird.
They're not in New York.
I know.
I don't care what anyone says. MetLife is not New York. It's New Jersey. It's not even. It's close, but it's not.
I mean, I know why they're doing it.
Because if you tell people you have to fly to New Jersey, no one's going to want to go.
But then also, I mean, the reason, like you said, the reason why, I'm just going to say it, is just because obviously it's a bigger venue, and they're going to sell out so much. They're going to get so much money from it.
Of course, that's why they're
going for a football stadium. They will always go for a football stadium.
No, but I know the reason why they're saying New York, because it just has more of a glamorous thing. Yeah. You can't be like in New Jersey,
right? Because you think New York, you think in New York, you think of like some of the biggest wrestling matches of all time.
Well, the weekend will be taking place in New York, so at the Barclays they're going to have NXT, which I want to go to. Obviously, the Hall of Fame is going to be there, and then the Raw and SmackDown will also be taking place from there. So, majority of it will be in New York. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the New York Jets and New York Giants, they played in that stadium, and they're not the New Jersey, so whatever.
At least, you know what, wrestling, I will say, though, Vince McMahon's the first guy to say in professional sports of New York, New Jersey, Hitmen, back with the XFL days. He did acknowledge that they didn't play in New York.
And we saw a little XFL commercial at Monday Night Raw. Let's talk, since we have time to finally, indulge and speak some more stuff. What did you guys think about going to live wrestling? Do you like it better than watching it at home? I mean, I'll start off. I enjoy, as much as I hate the commentary, I do like, the camera angles you get to see. I do enjoy from time to time the goofiness of the commentary. But nothing really beats being there live, even though we were so far up. I love, getting a snack, hanging out with friends. It's a different environment. But if I was to go to a WrestleMania, which I've been to, I enjoy watching WrestleMania more so than being at a WrestleMania, believe it or not. I'll toss it over to Dom. What did you think of going to a live event?
When it comes to going to a live event, I think it's the crowd that really determines if you're going to have like the best time or not. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the card will matter too. You're going to hope to have good matches and all that stuff. But I feel like it's really up to the crowd in terms of how electrifying they're going to be. I think no matter what, I will always try and get to any event I can when it comes to wrestling. It obviously again depends on the card, but most of the time, every time they've come close to New York or in New York, I've been there at least for the past year and a half. So I think I will always probably want to go to the event. I'm probably going to try and plan to go to WrestleMania, depending on the price. I understand you could just sit home and watch it for free.
You can get good tickets for not too expensive.
But it's something that I haven't done in a while. Actually, I haven't done it all. So
there you go.
Something I want to do.
I mean, for me, when I go to wrestling events, it really has to do with who I'm with and where we're going. Like we went to the Royal Rumble, we made a whole weekend out of it, we enjoyed ourselves, we had a great time. That's, for me, what wrestling is. It's a getaway from reality. These guys, obviously, they're not really hitting each other as hard as you would think or anything. They're still hitting each other, but it's a good escape from reality. And it's fun to go to a live event because you could just go there and you could just start...
go nuts.
You could just start chants and go crazy, and everyone around you, instead of being like, this guy is crazy, they'll join in. And you'll have a whole arena booing a guy for no other reason than... they are trying to make him look like a star and you don't like him.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And you could just let out the most horrendous boos. You could start the craziest
offensive
chant.
Language.
Yeah.
We were saying awful things.
Things if we said on the radio,
we'd be fired instantly.
Yeah, we'd be blacklisted from the community.
Yeah.
But at a wrestling event,
it's okay. It's cheered upon. Yeah, you're a hero. You're getting laughs, high fives.
I screamed that Jinder Mahal came from Canada at least 100 times, and every time I did, the people below me were dying of laughter.
Yeah.
Because it's true. And when you point some of these things out at a wrestling event, you could just laugh and have a good time because at the end of the day, none of this is really going to affect your life. Yeah. It's not like you're betting on wrestling or, depending on how your team plays. It doesn't matter. These guys, they all know what's going to happen at the end of this day. They all know who's winning and who's losing.
I think one thing I'm always known for at these events is whenever Bayley is in a match, because I really dislike her a lot because of her baby character, I just say how she's a child, and I feel like I always get a laugh. Like, in my section, like, just a couple people turned around and they're like, oh, that's so true. I don't know why. I feel like I always get, like, a bunch of people that are just always like, oh, yeah, that's true. I can't stand Bayley. I really
know
can't.
Your hatred for Bayley.
I mean, I know anyone who goes to any event with me, and I'm talking any, knows that I go balls to the wall.
Yeah, so does your uncle.
So, I mean, I go there looking to have the best time possible. I don't want to ruin the event for anyone, but I try to make it as fun as I humanly can.
And Joe is sober.
Yeah, and
he's not of age and he doesn't drink.
I don't drink at all. No pregame, none. I just go in, I'm high off life, and I'm there to have fun. I'm there to have fun.
You cornball.
Yeah, okay, Bailey.
Sorry. I'm not Bailey. I'm Dakota Kai. Get it right.
Well, speaking of Bailey, and I do want to say this. So after the show, my buddy works at a bar, Ken's.
Well, here we go.
And Bailey, Sasha Banks, No Way Jose, Apollo Crews, and...
No, just Apollo.
Oh, he's not Apollo Crews anymore.
And Mojo
all showed up at this bar, and they were awesome. I didn't go, but I was
like Mojo's a cool guy to hang out with.
He said Mojo was the nicest guy. He's really, really not good. He got some of the biggest heat, but I want to give a shout out to my buddy Sal, who works at Cannes, and he was saying, Sasha and Bailey, they didn't want pictures taken of them, so Sasha actually grabbed my buddy Sal's phone and was like, "You didn't take any pictures of us, did you?" And then she scrolled through it, and then she was like, "Oh, I knew I could trust you, Sal," and gave him a hug.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Bailey was drinking pickle juice. They poured pickle juice down her throat. So he was saying this horrible thing. Like, Bailey was essentially, I'm not going to say it, but she was like, just sucking down pickle juice and was getting all over her face.
You're kind of ruining your friend Sal here.
Yeah, well,
burying him pretty hard.
Well, he listen. He would talk about this
so
literally
descriptive.
every day.
We're on a radio show
every day.
They're never going back there ever again.
Well,
what radio show are we on?
We are on the Squared Circle, right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. But they were saying how much fun these people were. No Way Jose was dancing with the waitresses.
I feel like
the conga line.
You know who I feel like is the most fun? Titus O'Neil.
Titus, I heard, is the greatest person ever.
He's got to be a fun guy.
Yeah.
Because at a live event, apparently he was holding sliding competitions to see who can fall the best in the ring.
I mean, you could even just watch the episode on Ride Along. I mean, I don't know if you've checked it out, but it's on the WWE Network. It was the episode between it was Titus Worldwide and then Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman, and just even like the way he acts in the car and stuff, with Dana Brooke
that was
and
incredible.
Apollo.
It was just funny. Let's call Batista, and he just called Batista in the middle of the night. And Dave Batista,
him and Batista are good friends. Yeah. Actually, Batista told Titus O'Neil to quit the WWE because there was a few years ago when Daniel Bryan had to announce his retirement. Titus hugged Vince McMahon on stage.
No. What happened was, all right. So here's what they say happened: is that Stephanie McMahon was going to walk in front of Vince, and Vince didn't see her, so he kind of tugged at him to be like, "Hey, let your daughter go first."
Yeah.
And Vince snapped at him. Was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, and literally he got suspended for 60 days.
Yeah.
And Batista's like, "You need to leave this place." But speaking of Titus, real quick, so another friend of mine. He got
a lot of friends.
Yeah, not really. Well, he got tickets to NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn during SummerSlam weekend because his next door neighbor actually worked for the WWE, and she was telling us, all the stories about how Titus O'Neil is the nicest human being, remembers her name, always gives her a hug, is just off the chains of kindness.
He also has a pretty cool fish tank. I don't know if you ever seen the show Tanked.
Yeah.
No, he's on it.
Yeah, he was on it once. Yeah,
I like shows like that.
He's a proud Florida Gator.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
I think that was probably one of the best things I did that night.
At the Raw, yeah. So, going back to Raw, anything else that really stood out? Braun had a cute little promo. I knocked over a tree.
With the kids inside.
All right, can I just say,
that made me laugh.
He basically admitted to in-character murdering.
Yeah.
I know.
This guy's our face. He's just like, I broke that tree.
It's because everyone was like, ha! That's so funny.
Yeah, child homicide. What?
I think he needs to cut out some of the goofy stuff, but he's still so likable,
How is that a face thing for someone to say? Yeah, I killed 3 kids in a tree.
I don't know.
That's a face thing to say.
The only thing I can think about with Raw would be the only thing to mention is just Ember Moon being the first woman to qualify for the Money in the Bank.
I don't even remember that.
Yep, that's the only one. It was the triple threat match.
That was probably chanting stuff.
Yeah, but I liked that match though. I actually thought it was a
good match.
It had a weak start, but the end really kicked into gear and it was good.
Match of the night though was the main event: Roman versus who was it? Finn. And Sami Zayn, that was really good. A disappointing match, though, was Seth Rollins. He had an open challenge for his Intercontinental Championship, and out came Mojo Rally to thunderous boos.
I thought it was going to be Jason Jordan and Dean Ambrose. I thought that would have been really cool.
Sick.
It would have been a perfect time for one of them to return.
What a disappointment.
It has been reported that they're going to be returning soon.
Apparently, Jason Jordan's medically cleared. So the rumor mill.
That's good. So hopefully you got some storylines for them, because obviously the way Jason Jordan was left off wasn't the best. But Dean Ambrose I think he's still dealing with that shoulder injury. Excuse me, I haven't really heard that much from him, so I'm not really sure.
I mean, for me, I just think that if you're going to do Jason Jordan coming off this bad injury and stuff, not that people forgot where he came from or what he was doing, but I honestly don't think that you can just throw Jordan as a singles competitor. I know they're just getting Chad Gable into the singles competition, but Raw needs some...
Bring them together.
Yeah, Raw needs tag teams.
Now. I think so. I think
they need one good tag team, and everything they have right now is jobbers, even though apparently Breezango and Revival are putting on really good matches lately. But I'm not seeing them becoming champions. And if you take the two of them and be like, you know what? Let's get back together for one last run, and you have them go after the Hardy.
Great.
Authors of Pain have been awful also. No offense.
I never really cared for them. I never cared for them.
Their
I'm not going to
finisher
say.
blows. I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's not good.
I like
terrible.
I like them. It's just that it's almost like there's this curse with NXT tag teams that get called up. I mean, you look at all of them. And
Ascension, Revival, rather.
It just, I don't know.
AOP should have been on SmackDown.
It's not even that. I don't even care about their placement. I don't think they should have lost Ellering. No matter what if they had to pay him more, pay him more.
No, I just don't think Ellering wanted. He's old. He doesn't want to travel 52 weeks a year.
Fine, that's fine. But I feel like you just have to get past this now that they're just fighting jobbers every week. Give them actual competition.
We had a jobber chant going too.
Yes. We had some, like we said, we had some great chants. Anything else? Nothing else, really.
I mean, for Raw, that's really it, especially with tonight as well. I mean, the only things we kind of know for tonight are the two triple threats, and then obviously Rollins versus KO, and then probably some type of Jinder Roman Reigns thing, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know how that's the big feud on Raw right now.
There's no Universal Champion.
I don't think it's really the big feud. I think the biggest thing on Raw right now is Seth Rollins, and I love this open challenge thing. I love that he's saying that, this is the right champion. Yeah, obviously, because there is no other one. So
yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Also, real quick, I have some stats on the Beast Incarnate's title reign versus the longest reigning champion.
Oh yeah. I saw this in the modern era.
So apparently he won. All right, so not apparently. So this is the Beast Incarnate's title defenses and reign. He's been at 402 days. He's had 4 live show appearances.
We saw one of them at MSG.
Yep, 6 pay-per-views, 0 Raw, SmackDown DMs. I don't know what that means.
Something matches.
Yeah. 10 title defenses in 402 days. Only 10 title defenses. Looking at CM Punk, he reigned for 434 days. He had 141 title defenses. He was at 110 live shows. He did 12 pay-per-views. And SmackDown Raw DM, which I need to find out what DM means. He had 7 and 9.
I don't know.
So
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different type of animal. Brock is the less you see is more. CM Punk, was a workhorse. But the thing is, CM Punk never headlined any pay-per-views for the most part when he was champion. He was always kind of playing second fiddle, which is sad because he was such a great world champion and one of the best performers of the last 10 years. And there's actually some CM Punk news and a great event that's coming up later this year, the All In event. But we're going to get to that and a whole lot more after these messages.
The following program is rated US for unfathomable stupidity. Listener discretion is advised. This year, it's the home stretch with Andrew Zucker. Wait a minute, what is it? Zucker? That's weird. And Eric Fraschetti in the same crap you've listened to over and over and over again. Action, adventure, bromance. Actually, there's really none of that. Okay, maybe a little bromance. What else do you expect from a sports show? Sports? Nah. The home stretch, starring Andrew Zucker, Eric Fraschetti, KJ Brooks, Cameron Bonagora, and Kyle McKay. All right, I'm getting paid for that now, right?
Nope. We thought you knew that.
Ha! Screw that. You do it. I'm out of here.
Crap. The home stretch on Mondays afternoon at 5 p.m. on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hey, you in the car. Yeah, you. You're a fan of the music of Sly Stone. I know you are. No reason to hide it. You've probably been looking for a radio program that highlights his music. Well, then look no further. Let me introduce myself. I am DJ Solero. That's Soul followed by Air and an O. Solero. Well, never mind about that. Back to what we're both here to talk about. The Sly Stone Show features the music of Sly through the various artists who have covered and sampled his music, and I'll be playing some of the original music that helped impact a generation.